Yeah.
What it do, turkey necks? It's me, Keisha, and I am here with my last and final behind the scenes tea. Katori Hall breaks down P Valley season 2 episode 10 video. Oh my God, P Valley is over for season 2. We have to wait until next year. Prayfully for season 3. I cannot wait. There were a gang of cliffhangers left over from this season, so we'll have plenty of storylines to be excited about going into season 3. A lot of questions were answered via Katori, so let's not even waste time. Let's get straight into her final tweets on the season finale episode. I also have tweets from the P Valley writers as well, so let's get into it. The P Valley Writers Room tweeted, "This season, Andres learned to embrace his truth and to stop playing the part the world expects him to, but that honesty has to extend to his marriage as well. Even with the mutual infidelity, there's some love there. Could the real versions of these two make it work? No, because their relationship was built on a lie from the beginning. So the trust was never really there. The reality of their union was never truly there, and she still does not embrace all parts of him. She doesn't want to live in Chucalissa. She doesn't want to have anything to do with it. She likes her life where they live in Atlanta. I can't see her really uprooting her life and changing everything about who she is to help follow a dream that she didn't support in the first place. And then it's not going to work because Autumn is pregnant, you know? So it's most definitely not going to work. It might work for a minute, but the cracks will show themselves eventually. In the scene right before Lil Murda goes on stage to perform, the writer's room wrote, "Lil Murda's journey is a coming-of-age story spurred by his experiences at the Pynk. He confronts the past versions of himself as strips down physically and emotionally. Though we debated him performing sans jewelry and grills, in the moment, the boy has become a man." And if you pay attention to the season finale this year, and season finale season 1, remember before he performed on Murder Night in season 1, he was looking at himself in a mirror and he flashed his grills, because at that point he was still embracing the facade of who he was, this hyper masculine figure, that was not really truly trying to show who he really was as far as his sexuality. But in this season finale, he was tired of putting on the front. He wanted to be LaMarcus as well as Lil Murda, because Lil Murda is still a huge part of who he is, but his sexuality is as well. And I felt like his character was tired of hiding that part of himself. Then when it comes to his and Mercedes' epic performance, the writer's room says, "From Lil Murda's acapella soliloquy and the rock guitars to the red lighting and Mercedes' death drop, 7 Pounds of Pressure is our most ambitious musical performance ever. It is a true musical moment in which the music reflects the character's arc and propels the plot." And I 100% agree. It was a full circle moment for Lil Murda and Mercedes, whatever. Somebody in the comment section on the season finale review time said it's Mercedes, not Mercedes. I said, girl, hush. I'm from the Lou. We say R's differently. Mercedes. Shut up. Anywho, so Katori then writes, "Maine looking up at Mercedes dancing beneath those lights, red lights, when Murda reflects his desire," meaning, him being able to finally see her perform. But she also writes, "But of course, the anger of them both. She is dancing under the shine of a hurt village hustler color, which breaks his heart." That really pissed him off that she was dancing on stage with the op. Like, that's a bad look for him, especially if they gonna try to move forward. What is his people gonna say? It was just a bad look overall for him, but for her, she not even thinking about no gang shit. She just thinking about going out and performing and conquering her fears. So the rift between Maine and Mercedes was birthed right there at that scene, and it was sad to see. It really honestly was. But take a look at the footage that I have of the stunt double working on that particular routine. She and Brandy Evans both performed parts of that dance scene. So know that Brandy Evans was in there doing a lot of that work as well. You got to give it up to her because mama worked her ass off this season with that pole work. But take a look at the stunt double.
One thing about me, I'm going to perform better than I rehearse because my crazy stunts actually hurt.
Katori says the shot, the climax of the song aligns with the climax of the dance. When Murda crouches at the foot of the pole on the bridge, from beneath the floor, we see Mercedes at the top of the pole dangling as if she's gangster walking on the ceiling. She then makes gravity her friend. Yes, ma'am. Yes, she the fuck did. And I was here for every freaking second of it. The writer room writes, Woodbine warriors eating good tonight. Mayor Bishop took her calling to save the soul of Chucalissa beyond putting a man, black or white, in power. She seized that throne for herself and did so without compromising her morals, twisted as they may be in the process. And you gotta give it to Patrice's character because she represented who she actually was. She didn't try to put on a facade, much like Wayne Cow and Andre did. She said, look, this is me. I had a past. This is who I am now. You either gonna love me or you gonna hate me. And that is why she won, in my opinion. So, Lord, we gotta go through season 3 with Patrice out of pocket Woodbine as the mayor of Chucalissa. I cannot wait to see the war that is going to rage between her and Wayne Cow and Corbin and Georgie. This is going to be a hot mess, but I am here for the shenanigans. We did not hear Uncle Clifford's call from Chucalissa General about grandmother. Seeing Uncle Clifford forgive Keyshawn indicated that she understood the importance of making the most of our short lives. One could only assume because Ernestine had died. I know that's what the hell I was thinking, child. I just knew Ernestine was the fuck up out of here and that she had gone on to heaven. I'm going up beyond. I knew that's what her ass was, child, up there drinking Kool-Aid with her daughter. But I was wrong. We all were wrong. It's P-Valley Writers Room says we went back and forth about Ernestine's fate for a while. Living ancestors play an important role by connecting us to the past and shaping our futures. In the end, we realize Uncle Clifford still needs grandmother's sage wisdom, and so do the rest of us. And I'm happy about that because we love Loretta Devine playing grandmother Ernestine. So I cannot wait for more of her one-liners and her funny ass jokes and her zero fucks given attitude in season 3. In this episode, we alluded to Little Red Riding Hood through Keyshawn's costuming with Autumn's help. Keyshawn is finally ready to escape the clutches of the big bad wolf. Now, this was something that I wasn't even tripping off of on my initial viewing of it, that she had on a red velour little short set, because, you know, as I'm watching the show, I have to take notes while I'm watching it. So it's a lot of stuff that I do miss on my first go around. But I thought that was a really good way of showing storytelling without speaking. So that part to me was really, truly dope. Katori says Keyshawn's fairy tale ending feels in reach. She looks the part of Little Red Riding Hood in the forest as Haley narrates her own domestic violence survivor rule book. Haley's gifts, from passports to money to a brand new car, is the most solid escape plan she's had, meaning Keyshawn. You know, she's never had a actual game plan of how I'm going to get away from this nigga. Remember the last time she tried to get away from him, it was on some spur of the moment shit, and she wasn't prepared, because that's when she found out that crazy motherfucker had taken the battery out of the car. Katori then writes, meanwhile, we wake up with Murda through Uncle Clifford's point of view, backlit through the rising sun. To stare into LaMarcus' eyes is another way we make our viewers feel the true rush of intimacy between this couple. And it most definitely did that. I was drawn in from the moment we saw Uncle Clifford's stiletto nails being shown and him twirling his fingers and then running his nails across Lil Murda's back. That scene was just so intimate and just sexy, and it was beautiful. I loved every bit of it. But one thing I want to point out is, if you go back to season 1, they have been keeping up this narrative for Lil Murda and Uncle Clifford's relationship about them having to be in the dark. Season 1 episode, I believe it was 5 or either 6. It was 5. They discussed that when LaMarcus came to her office after they slept together after murder night and was asking to take her out on a date, and she was like, "Where you gonna take me, huh?" Because the last gay boys that took a walk down the river or whatever got killed, and and what, you gonna take me to the wing shack? The same wing shack that he ended up taking Big Teak to was the one that Uncle Clifford made mention to in that episode. And he was like, the last 2 lesbians that did that got their booty holes tore out or whatever. He was like, "Where are you going to take me, Lil Murda? Huh? Where are you going to take me?" He was like, and that's when Lil Murda was like, "So what we gonna do? We just gonna suck in the dark." So this whole darkness versus light has been a storyline plot for these 2 characters since season 1, because Uncle Clifford, we now know, was scared of intimacy and love because of what he saw his mother go through as a teenager. So he never wanted to fully give himself like that to a person, in fear that the same thing could happen to him, like what happened to his mother. And then for Lil Murda, you know, he's a thug, he a street nigga, you know, he a gang member, he a rapper. How does that look with me being gay as well? So he was living in the dark. He wasn't truly being who he was out of fear of judgment of what other people would think about him. So I love the whole metaphor of dark and light that's been played since season 1. With Ernestine coming back home and Tina's tour starting up, it's time for Lil Murda and Uncle Clifford to stop playing house. But who gets to decide what's fantasy and what's reality? Do we do that for ourselves, or do we let the outside world shape the contours of our lives? A lot of people do let the outside world, whether it be their family, friends, just people in general, a lot of people do live their lives according to what they think other people will feel about them. And so a lot of people live their life based in fear, based in secretive behavior, and not truly owning who they are. So it's so important to, like Beyonce said in her new album, be free. I was born me. This is me. You got to accept me. And if you don't, oh the fuck well. Katori then writes, with Murda going on tour, Uncle Clifford uses this as a moment to break up. She's doing him a favor as she knows he can't succeed with her by his side. However, through backlighting, we show that the sun is shining, trying to let them stand in their light. Oh, I love that. But once again, fear is holding Uncle Clifford back because LaMarcus, as we saw in that scene, he's changing his mind on things. He doesn't want to do what he did last season on Murder Night and not claim him as mine. You know, that is, Uncle Clifford is his. He said it on stage when he was performing. If you listen to the lyrics that he rapped to Uncle Clifford on stage, he said, "You're mine." And he's finally allowing himself to be open with letting the world know that without fear of what may happen. But Uncle Clifford, however, isn't ready for that. And she is older than Lil Murda, so she doesn't want to hold him back from accomplishing his dreams and his desires and things. Mercedes, seeing her mother become Mayor Bishop, fills her with disgust and low-key pride. Though Woodbine has won, she is clearly not in support of the casino referendum that passed. 24/7 Sin is on its way to Chucalissa and will have a grand foe in Mayor Bishop, and I can't wait. Patrice and Mercedes have been separated all season, ghosting each other, but like a ghost, Patrice has haunted Mercedes this season as she comes to terms with the trauma of their toxic relationship. TVs and billboards have kept Patrice away at bay, and damn, I didn't trip off of it until she wrote that they hadn't been in the same room all season. But it seemed like they had been via television or, like she said, billboards and stuff. We always had the ghost of Patrice haunting Mercedes throughout this season, even though they were never even in the same room with each other until the season finale. Then Katori says Mercedes turns away from Patrice's interview when a delivery from Farah arrives at the door. A photo of Mercedes from the exhibit along with a $30,000 check. The original sponsorship between Coach and Sadie's was $10,000 a week. She had received one payment 1 week in before he expired it. So I know some of you thought that it was $70,000, but no, it was $30,000. So she also writes, Mercedes first thinks this is money owed from Coach, but it's really Farah giving her royalties in perpetuity from the sale of the photos. Mercedes is learning about new income streams as it relates to her stripping career. Though this is the end of them, a new dream begins. And I like that storyline. I like it. It showed Mercedes that she was more than just a stripper or a dancer or whatever, and hard times actually ended up leading to a better life for her because she was dead set on, you know, having this gym and being a coach for the girls dance team. But obviously God had a different plan for her. So she had to go through these hardships to get to where she is now. And that is a good metaphor for life, that when things are dark and bleak and you don't know where you're going, you can't figure out a way, go through the process, feel it, go through it. Thank God in the process for the lesson that he is trying to show you, because in the end, there is always light at the end of the tunnel, and God's true purpose for your life will always be revealed. And sometimes it may seem as if, you know, this is, you know, hard, like this is why is God doing this to me, when in realization, he's preparing you for a huge blessing that will change your life. And I feel like this is what Mercedes' character had to go through. All the hardships, the arrest, the no money, and all this, that, and the third to get to where she is now. So it was great to see that. Writers tweeted, We've always thought of Autumn and Andre as soulmates, no matter how messy their situation gets. Though their future is far from clear, these two will always see and accept each other for who they truly are, which is why his relationship with Brittany won't work, because she does not fully accept him for who he is. And then Katori writes, Haley's plan to tell Andre about possibly being pregnant was thwarted by being caught by the wife. Regardless, her gift of cigars is a low-key nod to what she's holding in that belly of hers, as old tradition demands that new fathers be gifted cigars upon birth of their kiddos, which was a playback to the line that she said, things that are left unsaid. And that box of cigars was like her way of telling him in a fucked up way that she was pregnant, because you know this bitch is just full of fucking secrets. We learn the second meaning of Rule 7629. If you can't get to the water, sometimes you got to bring the water to you. Inspired by Ernestine, Uncle Clifford advised Corbin to build a canal, bringing the river to his portion of land with the support of the city council via Wayne. Child, Corbin got him. Corbin got him, baby. You can't even be mad at that little motherfucker. He got him. But they said, the water always remembers. The water always remembers. So even though I feel like Corbin won right now, he's not gonna win in the long end, because he's still fighting for acceptance in a community that will never truly accept him, because he is of mixed heritage. Second, he was the maid's son. Thirdly, he was the son of, infidelity. He was birthed out of infidelity. He will never truly be accepted. And until he learns, once again, like Uncle Clifford and Lil Murda, how to accept himself, he is never going to win. So Katori writes, the city council in small towns often wield more power than the mayor, and this is no exception. Sometimes you got to bring the water to you, was Clifford's advice. The Pynk is saved again and will be within a stone's throw of a casino, which means big money, big money for the Pynk. Because people going to want to go to the strip club, then hit the casino, or hit the casino and then hit the strip club. So this is a win-win situation for all parties involved. Uncle Clifford soon gets overrun by a newly discharged Ernestine, who's rehired Big L to help plan her finna fuck life up party. Her flirtation with the Ugandan Godfrey has escalated into something more. Ernestine's got her groove back. I know that's right, Ernestine. Fuck that. Don't let age and disability slow you down, baby. Dick is dick is dick. So, the writer's room writes, after grappling with mortality all season long, Uncle Clifford is reminded by Ernestine and Beulah that while life is a gift, it's wasted if you don't actually live it. Though Beulah died of complications from age, she still tells Clifford love is still a risk worth taking. Oh, yes. Because he was scared. He was so scared. Katori writes, it soon becomes clear that Uncle Clifford has pushed Murda away out of fear and a lack of belief in true love. Beulah died of AIDS when Cliff was in her teens, making her fearful of intimacy, having seen its tragic consequences in her own life and within the Black community. Now, I did see in the comments section that some of you were wondering, does Cliff have HIV or anything like that, with him and Lil Murda not having protected sex? No. That's why he made the comment, are you sure you're okay? Because that is a huge step. And he was like, yeah, I'm straight. And of course, Uncle Clifford is straight because he does not have sex without protection either, because of what happened to his mother. So no, Uncle Clifford or nor Lil Murda got HIV, y'all. Y'all can chill. We always saw Lil Murda use a condom every time he had sex with someone, whether it be Uncle Clifford or Big Teeth. To Big Teak, he always pulled out a rubber. That's why the scene when they made love without a condom was so prevalent, because this was a huge step in their relationship, building trust between them and taking them to a new level of intimacy, especially with Uncle Clifford topping Lil Murda, because he's always the bottom and Lil Murda is always the top. So that was Lil Murda's way of really showing him like, I fuck with you. I'm here. I want to be with you. I'm giving you something that is a special part of me now. Keyshawn makes one last stop to pick up money Murda owes her. They trust each other deeply, she revealing she's starting a new life out west. Through rich, warm lighting, we show the potential of success for them both. Lighting played a huge key in this season 1 and season 2. Lighting, meaning the sun, was literally another character for this season. She also writes, but the warmth of other sons may not be what Murda needs, and his play sister Keyshawn questions him about leaving Chucalissa and therefore Uncle Clifford for good. Should he go forward or stay back? The writer's room wrote, Keyshawn and Lil Murda's arcs has been major tentpoles of this season, taking us out of Chucalissa and through the emotional ringer. Of course, Keyshawn had to break Autumn's rules and say goodbye. And this was one of her downfalls, by going on a goodbye tour real quick. That's what fucked her up. Remember, Autumn told her, no goodbyes, you just gotta fucking dip. You gotta fucking dip. And if she would have listened, maybe she would have had the opportunity to get away, but she did not listen. And that was a part of Keyshawn's downfall. Art burns bright in her studio. The sign is a callback to the toxic fight Mercedes and her mother Patrice had in the Pynk parking lot. But now Mercedes almost has everything. Remember on murder night when she found out her mama had bought the gym that she originally wanted, and they were arguing about her being a stripper. She was like, it's art. It's art. So I love that she's embracing her art now. The writer's room then says, believing her quote that art, Mercedes takes Uncle Clifford's advice and dreams a new dream. Her gym won't be focused on majorettes, but rather on pole fitness. She's broken free from the shackles of respectability politics and embraced her superpower. And like I said to you guys, that she was going to end up doing pole classes, which is very smart, because everybody wants the Mercedes experience. Now they'll be able to get the Mercedes experience while, exercising, gaining confidence, and learning how to, make they man see them in a whole new light and be sexy for they man and stuff. So everybody wants to give what Mercedes is able to give to these men. And hell, if I can learn how to do it at home, my nigga ain't got to go to the fucking strip club. I'm all for it. Yes, ma'am. So Katori writes, she dances like the legend she is, hitting the superhero pole until she is confronted with a haint in the mirror. Upon further inspection, unlike the hotel mirror in Jackson, Patrice is in the flesh. Woodbine floats in, dressed in white. Mercedes stands her ground in black. These two opposing colors echo traditional noir. This war between mother and daughter has been brewing since last season, but they have both arrived at their new dreams. Yes, I love that. Come on with the right tang. We finally reunited Patrice and Mercedes after the season 1 finale, while Trice shut the doors of her church on Mercedes. Then she's now entering her daughter's gym and making amends the best she can. It's a healing moment for the 3 generations of Woodbine women. Oh, I love it. And then Katori writes, the pandemic caused much soul searching, and Woodbine is no different. Never the one to say she is sorry, it is clear that she harbors deep regret having stolen Mercedes' dream for her. Woodbine's olive branch is heart-wrenching. Patrice reconnects Mercedes with Terica. And even though there was a beautiful thing, I still don't like that hoe. It still fuck Patrice ass for life. Katori also writes, Mercedes' line, sometimes God uses the devil to give you your blessings. Ooh, you better speak a word. Rings true. Just like Autumn fronted her the down payment for the gym, Woodbine gives Mercedes back her daughter. For the first time in ages, our shero Mercedes knows what winning feels like. Oh, I'm here for it. I love it so much. I love it. 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 So then Haley rolls up on Uncle Clifford enraged. She has helped Corbin with the canal. Uncle Clifford signing over in Corbin's $250,000 check is a gesture that pays in kind for Haley's grief. This same amount stolen from Montavious and what she lost her daughter over. Okay. While Autumn saved the Pynk last season, Uncle Clifford saved herself this time around by playing chess, while Autumn overestimated her own intelligence. Haha! Rule 88, don't ever forget, just because a bitch good at keeping the peace don't mean she ain't good at waging war. You better speak a word, writers room. Yes. Here for all of the smoke. Yes, sir. Katori writes, one of my favorite scenes of the season. It's clear that Uncle Clifford really wanted to be the maternal figure Haley deserved as an orphan. At Alarica and at All Day Nico played this business dissolution like a mother-daughter breakup, imbuing it with a much deeper color and resonance. Yeah, because like I said, she really wanted their relationship to be one of family, but Autumn doesn't know how to be in a family because she's never had one. She's always been out for self and protecting herself and taking care of herself outside of when she had her daughter, and then that in fact was stripped and taken away from her. So Haley is going to have to go through some more hardships to really understand what family truly means. Keyshawn arrives to her stepsister's house to find that her stepmother, Shanice, has popped up unannounced on the wrong damn day. To make matters worse, she calls Derek to catch up, setting off alarm bells and causing him to pick up the children. Now, I saw a couple of you thinking that Big Bone actually was the one that set the whole thing up, but as Katori wrote, it didn't go down that way. Shanice showed up on the wrong damn day at the wrong damn time, and it just fucked up everything because she, in fact, was the one that called Derek. I thought that Big Bone would be the one to do it, but actually, no, it was just circumstance that ended up happening to fuck up Keyshawn's exit plan. God damn. Keyshawn arrives back home to find a CPS agent has arrived to investigate a mandated report from the doctor's office, coupled with a call of a concerned neighbor, aka Derek. Just like he called to get Diamond fired early in the season, it's clear Derek has been covering his bases. Oh, that little tricky Caucasian. Oh, you tricky motherfucker, you. Many in the Pynk posse have remarked that Keyshawn would have immediately been investigated at the doctor's office. Not necessarily so, as during COVID cases got backed up. This led to some unfortunate tragedies. I love that they really did their research on this topic. Keyshawn, hearing the pending investigation, realizes the awful truth. She is trapped again, blood boiling. She tries to keep calm, but what she sees / imagines is her big bad wolf laughing at her. Keyshawn finally fights her wolf, but he has already swallowed the Keyshawn. You get that metaphor? Keyshawn. Her warranted anger makes her look violent and further proving she must be the abuser. In addition to Derek hitting the officer causes her to be placed under arrest. She's on her way to a felony. The overhead shot of her down on the ground with a knee on her back articulates the power of the police, the feat of her abuser, and of the CPS lady. also totter into frame, symbolizing the weight of whiteness this black mother will have to fight. And then the writer's room says, at this moment, Keyshawn's fairy tale becomes a nightmare. She ends up prone, physically and metaphorically crushed by systems of oppression and white supremacy. As a black woman in Mississippi, she will always face outsized obstacles when trying to get free. And this also goes back to earlier in the season when she ran into Diamond at the dollar store, and he told her that Derek had called him a nigger, and he was like, you know, I wonder, has he said anything like that to you? And she was like, he never said anything like that. He would never do that. And now she's seeing that, yeah, just because he fuck you and had kids with you still don't mean that he don't look at you like another fucking nigga. And now she really truly sees it. And it's unfortunate that she didn't see it until it was too late. The scene where Andre is calling Autumn's phone and she's not answering, Katori writes, crowns land on the heads that's ready to wear them. Backlit, Andre steps into the sun as a son who is ready. Truth and reconciliation has become his crown as he walks into the future to reconnect with his father on death row. I can't wait to see who's going to be playing his daddy child, how this is going to affect him and his life moving forward, his relationship with Brittany, him becoming a father himself. Remember, his father was very unsupportive and negative, so I can't wait to see if his father is still the same way or has he grown in the years that he has been in prison. We then see Mercedes returning home with Terica. And I saw that a few of you were in the comment section saying that Maine was looking at Terica in that scene. I don't know where in the hell y'all got that from, but that man was not looking at that little girl. In that scene, she introduces Terica to Maine. Terica was the one that was low-key flirting with him because she liked what she saw. He was very handsome, of course, sexy guy, and you know she already hot in the ass as it was. That's why Mercedes was like, okay, you can go ahead and get your bag now and go take your ass in the house. He, however, was upset with Mercedes for what happened the night before. He could barely even look at her. He barely even acknowledged Terica. That man was not looking at her in no sexualized way, so y'all can get that out of your heads right now. Katori lets us know that in this scene, we see Mercedes wearing a Young Dolph t-shirt, and they wanted to pay homage to him in the season finale with her wearing said t-shirt. So Katori says it made sense that Mercedes would rock that shirt like a peace flag in the midst of a brewing gang war between the Chiefs and the Hurt Village Hustlers. Despite Maine shows his darker side, calling Lil Murda a faggot, the streets been whispering something Murda admitted to Uncle Clifford in the second episode of the series. Now the whispers becoming roars. So like I said, next season, this whole thing with Lil Murda, you know, being gay is really going to be a topic of the hood because now he is out. Everybody knows now. I wonder how his gang gonna feel about him. Or they gonna try to disassociate with him because of his sexuality? Will he be a lone wolf now without their support? It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be crazy. The writer's room says, though Mercedes decides Maine is what she's looking for after all, she quickly learns that gang affiliations trump romance in his world. It's clear that the beef between the Hurt Village Hustlers and Chiefs is just heating up, and Sadie's unwittingly picked a side. Ooh, like I told y'all, it's going to be some shit next season. It is going to be some shit, honey. And remember, a lot of you were confused in the episode where we thought they were finally going to make love, and she was like, that's not what I need right now. And I told you guys that she didn't want sex. She wanted comfort and just somebody to support her and lean on. And he wanted something totally different at that point. So after she finally got her daughter, after she finally got her shit together, now she was ready to fully focus on their relationship but he's pissed off at her based off what happened during Lil Murda's performance. And girl, I ain't got time for all this back and forth. Lil Rock, Arkansas banging on Lil Rock type shit. Boy, if you don't get the fuck out of here with your old ass mad about some gang shit, nigga, bye. After 18 episodes, Keyshawn finally takes Diamond up on his offer. She's had to find the urge to leave and try multiple times to break free, all to no avail before getting to this place, meaning in jail. Katori writes, Diamond receiving a call from Keyshawn from jail is a complete surprise. She finally takes him up on his offer from the pilot episode. Speaking in the fairy tale talk, she lets Diamond know her big bad wolf got the upper hand. No matter, Keyshawn's kiss reactivated her hitter. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Reactivated her hitter. Yes, God, she got hitters on her side. Should have been called. So both bathed in red light in two different places shows their agreement over the blood that will be shed. And just like that, another person of the killer game has turned into a killer herself, but it's kill or be killed, and this victim wants to survive. And one of you pointed that out in the comment section, that Keyshawn was the last person in the killer game to actually have to kill someone. Everybody in the killer game either got killed or killed somebody. So we saw Woody killed Rome. Big T killed himself. Lil Murda killed Pico. She was the last person, and she's still technically the last person in the killer game to have to kill somebody and actually do it. That's why I keep on saying that Keyshawn will have to save herself, nobody else. She has to get rid of Derek on her own. Writers tweeted, our pendulum says the future of the pink is looking red, black, and pimpish all over. Prayers up for Uncle Clifford's nerves regarding roulette now, slutting the girls out in the club. A new era is being ushered in by new dancer Roulette, who over the course of the season has gone from prostitute to pimp. Nanivia's interest in becoming part of Roulette's stable marks a moment of change at the Pynk. Uncle Clifford has been able to keep hoeing at bay till now. And like I said, this shit is what's going to be the thing that really catches up to Roulette and fucks up shit at the Pynk once again. This is going to get the Pynk taken away again for the third time when Roulette gets caught up for prostitution, and it's gonna seem like Uncle Clifford is the leader of this shit and the pimp and setting these girls out, and that's gonna get her closed down again, and Roulette gonna end up getting her ass kicked. And then especially when Uncle Clifford find out that her home girl is going behind her back hoeing, and they've been snorting coke and shit in the club. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a problem next season. The writer said, though she flew too close to the sun, Haley Colton always lands on her feet in a new city with a new identity. She's ready for a new lease on life. Chucalissa helped her through her grief, and she leaves behind her bag of bones. Child, she sure did leave a bag of bones behind with her rickety ass. Child, that heifer. Katori then writes, Texas girl Erykah Badu and Didn't You Know croons the inner monologue of Texas gal Haley Colton. Encased in a white suit, we see her get off a bus in a bustling city, wandering into a Chinatown. The chameleon turns to us, her hair now blonde, plastic bag of clothes in one hand, and hope in her belly. That hope in her belly is her babies, baby or babies. She did not leave Chucalissa with what she wanted, but with what she needed, life. Yes. Then Katori says, autumn came in on the wind, and that is exactly how she left. The strip club is a revolving door. So many women come and go. Autumn was saved by the Pynk, and she saved the Pynk. Goodbye, Miss Autumn Night. Hashtag P Valley will never be the insane. And I don't think that Autumn will be gone forever. I don't think that at all. I think she's gone for now, but she will be back. She will most definitely be back because she's pregnant. And she left with almost close to 300 grand, right? And a Birkin bag and them clothes. That money not going to last forever. She's pregnant. Who is she going to get to be watching her baby? Because I'm pretty sure she's not going to really trust nobody with her baby or babies. And especially if she got twins, she really going to be fucked because she ain't got no support system. She has no what? Family. And then with the Delta Devoted back in the scene, she still got some, like Katori and the writer said, bag of bones that still need to be taken care of. So she'll be back. She'll be back. She's gone for now, but she'll be back. And plus, that money ain't gonna last forever, child. On to my favorite part of the season finale, which I have watched I don't know how many times, and it just makes me giddy every time I watch it. Let's get into Uncle Clifford and Lil Murda. The writer's room says there are, of course, dozens of reasons why Lil Murda and Uncle Clifford could never work in the long term. And it was important for the characters to be pragmatic about their situation. But love also has a way of making the impossible possible. And then they show us a closer look at the actual script for the scene between Lil Murda and Uncle Clifford inside the bar. So Katori then says Uncle Clifford continuing to push LaMarcus away triggers a volcano of emotions neither were prepared for. It's clear that Uncle Clifford's insecurities are getting in the way, but this pushes LaMarcus to prove to Cliff that he's ready to love her because he's loved before. He finally opens up about Big Teak. He admits their first encounter was a lustful sexual hookup, but subsequently their time in the jailhouse supply closet led to something deep and true. LaMarcus finally confesses about that night he arrived bloody on Cliff's front porch. Heartbroken for him, Cliff still continues to make excuses, knowing if he was with her in the light, he may damage his career. And I know some of you were thinking that what happened after that was a dream sequence or him being high and, tripping out on drugs, but you will find that that's not true. If you pay attention to what was being said in the inside of the Pynk when Uncle Clifford and Lil Murda were having that heavy conversation about their relationship and about Big Teak, the basis of that conversation was Uncle Clifford feeling like, he did not want to be the one that stopped Lil Murda from reaching his dreams. And he didn't want to be the one to be blamed for him not reaching his full potential. But on Lil Murda's standpoint, he was trying to get Uncle Clifford to understand, I'm a grown ass man. I can make my own decisions. I know exactly what I'm doing. Like you said, I'm a star. So if I'm a star, I'm going to keep on shining regardless. And I want to get it on my own. I don't want to ride the coattails of anybody else. And then the other aspect of that conversation that was really important, that was a build up to the big climax, was we've been hearing from Uncle Clifford since season 1 about being in the dark. He a grown man. He want to be a grown woman, rather, should I say. He wants to be out in the open. And Lil Murda wasn't ready for that season 1. That's why Murder Night ended up happening the way it happened, and they ended up breaking up. And so Lil Murda had to go on, the road and experience tour life, experience Big Teak, to really find out who exactly he was. And all of that led to where we are now, with him being ready to face the world and say, hey, this is who I am. But Uncle Clifford was still feeling like he wasn't really truly ready. He didn't really want to get his hopes up and believing that they were going to really be together out in the open, because the last time he thought that, he got played. So that's why the whole conversation of being out in the sun and feeling the light and letting the light shine on you was such a big topic of conversation from season 1 all the way to season 2. And Lil Murda was telling him, like, dude, I feel like that is the reason why Big Teak might have killed himself, because I couldn't be in the light with him. Remember, he said that. So that was key right then and there, that I don't want to miss out again. I don't want to fuck up and make the same mistakes that I made with Big Teak with you. And so that's why that climactic scene was in fact real. It wasn't a mirage. It wasn't a dream. It wasn't a hallucination. That was real. Him finally saying, this is me, and I am gay, and I am in love with this woman. Katori then writes, Big L interrupts this beautiful moment. Haley uses one of her old accounts to bottom the Pynk account to 24K. They're going to need to hold drugs to get out of the hole. And with that, Uncle Clifford becomes the plug. So now he's being forced now to have to be involved in this plug life shit, something that he did not want to be involved in. And that's going to come back to haunt him as well, because they're going to get found out. So he going to have that on his hands, plus the prostitution that's going on. Uncle Clifford don't even know. He is in for a world of trouble with this shit. Oh my word. So we then see Uncle Clifford arrives to the dance floor high as fuck after getting high on her own supply. Love Ballad by LTD scores this moment of fancy. Pink and confetti filters made the moment heightened and dreamy. But this is not a dream, Katori writes in all caps. LaMarcus slides his hands around her waist and in the swirling lights beneath a Mississippi moon kisses her passionately. It's the moment we've all been waiting for, especially after how he refused to claim her on murder night. But tonight is the future. What we have is much more than they can see, Jeffrey Osborne croons, and yet our Pynk family can finally see out in the open. They express an array of emotions from confusion to pride to disgust. Beulah's spirit stands in the middle, her breath taken away. And if you pay attention, some people were happy. Some people were tuning up their face. Some people acted like they were disgusted. People were shocked. So that's how you knew it wasn't a dream sequence. Then Katori says some members of the Pynk posse think it's unrealistic for Murda to come out with all that's at stake for his life and his career. At P-Valley Writers talked about this for years. Our job is to use our imagination to make the unrealistic real. Our hope is that by looking in this mirror we have created, someone will step into their bravery like Uncle Clifford and LaMarcus and love in the light. Yes, ma'am. Then the writer's room said, in front of the family, Lil Murda and Uncle Clifford take a big step into the light. They're two mavericks who challenge the status quo with their mere existence, bolstered by a love forged in the many trials and tribulations of season 1 and 2. Fuck a world that won't accept them. Amen. I'm so happy that they did not drag it out with Lil Murda struggling with his sexuality and coming out. I'm so happy that they made the decision to have them come out as a couple in this end of season 2. I love that scene. It was so beautiful. But behind that decision is going to come a lot of strife and a lot of turmoil and a lot of beef. It's going to be a lot of shit that they're going to have to deal with coming season 3. But that scene was just gorgeous. It was just beautiful. And I loved every second of it. And last but not least, child, we find Diamond preparing to do the deed for Keyshawn when he is attacked by none other than Big Bone. Y'all called it. She ain't been up to no good. Sent by the Delta Devoted to find info on their fallen soldier Montavious. She's not his sister. So Katori is telling y'all that Big Bone is not Montavious' sister. She's just a part of the Delta Devoted. The Delta Devoted boss stands beside Big Bone and trains his gun on Diamond. The weapon focus triggers his PTSD, but killing him would be too easy. A callback to Uncle Clifford's fun kidnapping. DJ Zerk's Lock 'em in the Trunk plays as we slam 2 Black on Diamond and the season 2 finale. So now we know that dude that was with Big Bone is the actual head of the Delta Devoted. And remember, Montavious told them that his people gonna come looking for him. They gonna come looking for him eventually, honey. And the writer's room said, y'all know we had to leave you with a cliffhanger. It can't all be plates of yams and public decorations of love. Sometimes brave knights get locked up in trunks. Only time will tell what the Delta Devoted has planned for our dear Diamond. Child, once again, I have to say that the folks over there at P-Valley did the damn thing. I know we had to wait about 2 years for season 2 because of COVID and other issues, but they came back and they showed their natural Black asses. They wrote the hell out of season 2. Season 2 was even more well written than season 1. I know a lot of you under my season finale review were saying that you all think that the reason why they haven't been renewed yet for season 3 is because of the fact that Niecy Gilbert is suing the show because she's alleging that Katori Hall stole storylines from her play. But that has nothing to do with anything. Shows get sued all the time while in production, while filming, while on air. Power went through the same thing with people claiming that the show was based off their book or whatever. That has nothing to do with anything. After doing research myself, I really honestly feel like the reason why we haven't received a season 3 renewal is because of contract negotiations between Stars and Katori and the production company. That's what I'm really truly feeling like is the issue. The actors probably want more pay as well. And so I feel like that's what the holdup is. I think that once again, Stars would be absolutely idiotic to get rid of P-Valley. The numbers and the ratings have been awesome this season. So I don't think that we will not get a season 3. Hopefully whatever is going on behind the scene doesn't take too long and that they can get ready and prepared for season 3 and start filming. Because, we ain't doing another 2 years, child, even though it was well worth the wait. So hopefully all of this behind the scenes information from the writer's room and Katori Hall, the showrunner of the show, helped you all clarify a lot of things that happened in the season finale episode. Let's talk down below in the comment section, you guys. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you all, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.